Well, everybody, welcome to episode 2 of His and Hers with Jontae-Grace. And
Sherelle Lewis.
we thank you all for joining us near and far. We really appreciate every single one of you. And we'd like to ask you, if it's not too much to ask, please like, subscribe, and comment. Tell us what's up. Let us know what you think with these topics that we're about to get into. We try to have a fluid and open exchange of dialogue. So we didn't have a topic specifically for today, but Sherelle, I've heard that you wanted something. You wanted to talk about something, so you kind of had an idea about something that you would like to kind of kick off with. Would you like to start off with that,
Sure, let's go.
or
Let's go. Let's
okay,
do it.
okay, sounds good.
So since this whole podcast is about us dating in our 30s, and
Uh-huh. Wow. And of course she froze. And of course she froze. Did you know that? Did you see that?
I saw it froze for a second.
Okay. Okay. So you froze, and but that's all right. I can cut that part out.
We can
All
fix
right.
it, yeah. But yeah. So I know that while we're doing this, we're going to be going through this stuff as we're talking about it, and I think that's what makes us most authentic. And
Mm-hmm.
so in my personal life, I've been dealing with some stuff. I'm a faster. So whenever I feel like things are going off the rails, I
Interesting.
start
Yeah.
fasting. The first thing I
Interesting.
do is start fasting
Okay.
because I fast for clarity. Like that at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
that is why we fast. God wants us to if you are a person of a religious faith that believes in
Mm-hmm.
fasting, the point of fasting is to open up your mind, to get everything else out of your mind so you can be more sensitive to what the spirit is telling you.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
So that's the first thing I start doing. And so I had something come up and I started fasting, and it came up at the beginning of the month actually.
Mm.
And so I've been in a mindset of fasting since then. And
Okay. Wow. We're heading into the next month. Tomorrow, actually, June 1st. So,
yes,
wow, all month. Okay.
um so with that mindset, it has made it easier for me to go back. I've been consistently in therapy since 2018.
Okay. Good. Good.
And so I go back and it reminds me, okay, we worked on this in therapy. What did we talk about with this and blah blah blah. And that's how you kind of figure out what your own patterns are.
Uh huh.
So you can be accountable to yourself and hold yourself, and be aware of what you do. Because
Mm.
at the end of the day, we all know there's three sides to every story.
That's right.
His, hers, theirs, yours, and the truth.
All right. All right.
Um,
Yeah.
and so I have to figure out what the truth is. And that's why I go into my fasting. And
Mm.
so with all this stuff, I noticed that healing through therapy has affected the way I react to negativity within relationships with,
Mm.
in my case, as a cisgender heterosexual female with men.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Which is weird that you got to say all of that instead of just saying normal, but okay, continue.
we won't go into that.
That's a
This is
whole
not
nother thing. Yeah,
political.
yeah. That's a whole nother thing, but okay.
But no, no, absolutely. But when I interact with men, I I'm the person that I look so calm and sweet,
Mm.
and I love everybody. Don't make me mad.
Oh, oh, okay.
I got cold-blooded warrior's blood going through my veins.
Okay. Uh huh.
So
Still
when
waters
you
run
get,
deep.
it's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it's kind of like when you get me to that level, especially as a male, because there is a certain extra level of trust that I have to overcome to be trustful of you,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely, absolutely.
so by the time I go through all that, you know my story. I know your story. We've talked about
Mm-hmm.
it because we all know how big I am on communication. Are we on the same page? Are we even in the same damn book? First of all,
Right,
let's be in the
right,
same book.
right.
Now, are we in the same chapter? Now, are we on the same page?
Mm-hmm.
And Um, if I go through all that and then you betray me
That makes
in the
sense.
past,
That's why you go through all of that, to be able to give them the opportunity to get out whatever unpleasant information may possibly be out there, right?
be
Okay.
100%
Okay.
honest.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that, and a lot of people don't believe me when I say this, but I absolutely believe in holding a safe space for all people I come in contact with. So, as long as you are honest with me, even if the information upsets me internally, I'm not upset with you because you were honest with me. I can respect you if you're honest with me, and we can work with honesty. So, like, something some of my girlfriends and I talk about a lot is like when dudes deal with multiple women and don't tell
Uh-huh.
anybody.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, wait, baby, you might like, I might be wanting the same thing you want, but you ain't being honest with me. You telling me that you want something serious with me
Right, right.
instead of just being like, okay, look, here's the deal. I'm messing with this chick, but I want to mess with you too. I might be like, yo, I'm messing with this dude, this dude, this dude. I can add you number 4. You can be added into the rotation,
It might work out for
but a lot of
everybody.
men don't want to hear that.
I see
Men don't
what
want
you're
to hear that.
saying. I see what you're saying. Rather
So,
than keeping it real, they go ahead
right,
and play the role.
that
And
part.
yeah, yeah, okay.
So when I get into a situation like that, like when I came into recently, I I don't always black out, but
Careful, careful, don't incriminate yourself. We
oh,
are
I
recording.
look. I am one of these rappers. I am not. I am not on Power 95, Power 95, whatever, Power 97. But I'm not a I'm not going to come at you physically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was taught a beautiful art through one of my favorite movies, called Cruel Intentions. And one of the lines that she says, and I mean, and I'm not getting off topic. I promise I'm not. I'm still on the same topic.
Yep.
One of the lines she said was, "Any attack on my enemy, any direct attack can be traced back to me. So you don't do that."
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But where do you get people? Where do people hurt the most if you hit them?
Mm, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I used to be one of those people that was really, really, really good at that.
Hmm.
But that was because I was hurting.
Yeah, yeah.
So now that I'm healing, I got to this point with this situation, and it was heartbreaking. It was really, really hard for me. Like, I went into fight or flight response.
Mm, mm-hmm.
I was like shaking, all that stuff. Like, my heart was racing, pounding. I was flushed. I turned like really, really red.
Wow.
And like, that's how much it affected me.
Mm-hmm.
But after my body went through its reaction, its physiological reaction, and I got over my shivers,
Mm-hmm.
um, I sat there and thought about the situation. And you know what? Whether or not this person lied to me has nothing to do with me. And then at that point, I realized that I am healed, because when you don't have to go out and prove to somebody what they're losing in you, when you can accept that rejection and know
Yeah,
that that rejection is not you because you know yourself and you know what you've done,
yeah.
breakups are easier. I'm
Yes.
not gonna lie. And heartbreak gets easier to handle. And I see a lot on social media. People are like, oh, well, if she find out you cheat and she with somebody else the next week, she was cheating all along. That's not necessarily true. I don't think that's necessarily true. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, with what happened with me, I can easily move on right now as a single woman.
Right,
I
right.
can meet a new guy
You can
tomorrow
just
at
cut your
Sam's
losses
Club
and
and we go out on a date.
mm-hmm.
Does that mean I was cheating? Absolutely not. It just
Right,
means that I'm healed enough that I don't need to sit in my room for 3 months like I did 6 years ago over a dude.
right.
Sit in my room for 3 months crying, not eating, not even like literally getting up to go to the bathroom and brush my teeth.
Yeah,
Barely
yeah.
showering. Like, I don't have to go into a deep depression because I'm hurt.
I see. I see. So let's pause and let's let's sum all of this up so that way we make sure we're on the same page and our audience is on the same page. So what we're essentially talking about today is what happens when you're dealing with someone and they're keeping a big secret from you. And that secret is now there's different types of secrets and those things can mean different things, but as if I understand it, what we're talking about today is when someone is saying that they're faithful or portraying themselves to be dealing with you and you only in a monogamous arrangement, but they're actually having other arrangements and other connections on the side, right?
Right.
Okay.
And just,
So,
just the importance of being a healed person going into these kind of situations and how you react
hmm
to them.
hmm
Because a person who's not healed is going to react to that situation. I mean, those are the women that call your phone because you messing with their man.
yeah, coming
The
to
women
you,
who,
woman to woman, having one
yeah,
of those.
come up to your job, start Facebook stalking you, sending you messages and
Yep,
all this other stuff.
yep.
And I'm not gonna lie, I've been on that brink.
Of course, we all have. We've all. I've done it on the male version of that. Hey, bro, can I ask you about such? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We've all been there.
Right. And it's important to be a person that is, and even if you're not completely, I don't think any of us will ever be 100% healed as long
Sure,
as we're working on it. But
sure.
you're not gonna you're not gonna want to waste your energy on that.
hmm
So it pays. I'm stuttering like my uncle for a second there. Woo!
No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't.
I
No,
did.
three of them is a stutter. You only did two. No, I'm just messing with you.
But
Um,
just the importance of honesty, like especially at this
I want
age.
to address that. I want to push back slightly on that. Okay, so we got
Let's
the
go.
hers, and now I'm gonna give you the his. The one thing is that I've noticed or that I've seen is that sometimes women will say, "Yeah, yeah, keep it real with me. Tell me the truth. Tell me because I'd rather know, good or bad. I want to know." Right? They all say that. Trust me. But I've been that guy that is brutally honest up front.
Mhm.
And usually what I'm ended up saying is, look, I'm really just trying to be physical. I'm really just trying to have fun right now. I'm not trying to commit to something. And I
Right.
will say that up front and I will actually stand by that. And what I've noticed is that if a girl likes you and wants you, she'll play the role and
Yep.
go along with that,
Yep.
hoping that eventually
Yep.
you'll just catch feelings down the road and
Yep.
then fall for her and then she can kind of come back and get you on the back end.
Yep.
And then it causes a problem down the road because 6 months later, when you're still on that same kind
Uh-huh.
of mind frame, and they're wondering, like, well, damn, nigga, when is you gonna, and then they end up having a valid point because at that point you've been probably being involved and you've been sampling the cookie and you've been milking the cow and you still haven't purchased the cow, right?
Yep.
And then they have a legitimate excuse or argument to be like, look, I'm looking for something more right now. And my
Right.
thing is always, look, we talked about this. I told you from day one where I'm at and what I'm trying to do, and that hasn't changed. So I've been there several times where, yes, they'll say that, yes, I want you to be honest. I want you to tell me the truth. And then when you do that, it's not always,
Accepted.
if they want you, they'll just kind of be like, yeah, yeah, okay. And then hope that they can, you know, feed you a bowl of spaghetti someday. And
Don't eat that spaghetti.
don't eat,
Don't eat that spaghetti.
don't,
Do
don't.
not don't do it. It's a
feed you a
rule.
bowl, feed you a bowl of spaghetti one day, and
Nope.
hopefully that changes everything. So
Don't eat that spaghetti.
I just say that to say that doesn't always work either.
No, you're right. You're right. And that's where that healing piece comes in though.
Absolutely,
That
absolutely.
like
Okay.
literally, because I've been that girl too.
Yeah,
I've been that
yeah,
girl
yeah.
too.
Sure.
But you know what? Again, the importance of healing, and I know I harp on it, but that's how important it is. Because you
Okay.
know what? If I am a healed person, that means that I have healthy boundaries.
Yes, it
So if
does.
my boundary is healthy and
Mm,
I'm saying you can't have this cookie unless you're committed to me, then
right.
that means you're not getting the cookie until you're committed to me. But that falls on me to have the self control to not get caught up in the sweet little nothings, the kissing on the neck, and all that.
Yeah, yeah,
But not
yeah.
having the cookie. That
Right,
part falls on me.
right.
Now,
Absolutely.
if you're intentionally seducing me, trying to get me there, you deal with that part of yourself on your own. I can still say no. Now, once we
Right.
get past me saying no, that goes into other territory.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the point is, being healed means that you have that self control to stop yourself from doing that.
Mm,
Because no matter how much we all say it, because everybody I know has said, "Oh, it's just sex." It is
right.
absolutely still a connection. There's an exchanging of energy. There's an exchanging. It's a connection. It's literally a plug going into a hole.
It's just sex, though. Come
Okay.
on. This is 2022. At this point, and I've hated this about women, this is one thing that I do not like about women. If you're that type of woman that equates sex to emotional connection, that's fine, right? But don't be one of these women that'll be out here still moving and sharing yourself, letting
Right.
like as my mama would say, letting your fountain run out into the
Right.
streets. uh, but that makes your mind, that makes you catch feelings, because if you can't control, if
Right.
you're freer with your sexual energy than you are with your emotional energy, if those
Yeah.
two things aren't linked, or
Right.
if they're linked in your mind, but the how you're moving out here, they're out of balance, then you're
Right.
gonna end up in some situations where you're gonna catch feelings with people that
Uh-huh.
you know damn well you should not be dealing with,
No,
right?
I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I just think that to say that there is no kind of connection whatsoever during sex, it's
No, I
literally
don't.
a
I don't think. I
physical
don't think that
connection.
there's no type of connection at all. But I just think that it's outdated to hold people to a sexual contract, right? And I think that this is also the problem that we have in relationships now, because nowadays
Well, what do you
people
mean by sexual contract?
holding someone to their to faithfulness with their sexual energy, holding them to
Oh,
be
see, I
faithful
think
to
those are
you.
two completely different things. I think that's two completely different things beyond saying there's a connection
That's the
versus
same.
I'm catching feelings.
Well,
Like I feel like you connect with somebody when you have sex with them. I get that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I absolutely get that. But to say just because I have sex with you, that means we're together, that's insane and something completely different.
Of
Those are two
course,
totally different
that's
things.
right. That's right. But
Like,
most women always say, I can't have sex with somebody unless I actually like you. Most women say that. So unless you're able to actually either even abstractly see yourself being with that person, you probably won't even get aroused to the point where you can sleep with them. That's how a lot of women operate. Now, men are completely different. We can look at somebody and be like, I know damn well I do not want no parts of you, but if you was in a dark room right now, butt ass naked, I would run through that with no hesitation.
that is very
Men can do
interesting.
that.
That's very interesting because I actually, ready? I see it the opposite way where I'm at.
Yes, that's also a thing too. You're talking about men who end up saying, "Oh yeah, yeah, I could keep it, keep it G and everything like that." And then once they get a piece of the cookie, they get hooked. Nick, okay, now I have heard that is happening left and right. Niggas just get some good put on them, don't know how to handle it, and you seem like you have had to use your taser, or you had to threaten to back somebody up off of you because they thought it was something that it wasn't.
I don't threaten people.
You don't threaten, but threat, that's different from saying I won't take action. Okay,
Let's
okay.
put it this way. I before I got to the point I'm at now in
Right,
my life
right,
as a
right.
woman,
When things were a little bit messier.
I've had certain names attached to me.
Mm,
Man
mm.
eater,
Man eater,
man killer,
man killer.
pimp.
Mm.
I don't want no parts of that. You're mean.
Uh-huh.
Because I
Uh-huh.
will say, so here's the thing. I don't want to be a hypocrite in my own mind.
Sure,
I don't really
sure.
care what y'all think. But in
Yeah.
my own mind, I don't want to consider myself a hypocrite.
Okay.
So in that same instance, if I want you to be honest and upfront with me, I'm gonna be honest and upfront with you.
Right, right.
And therefore, I'm going to, like you said, I'm gonna tell you over and over again, this ain't it, baby.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm bored. I am bored.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you're in my line of sight while I'm bored.
Right,
And don't catch feelings for me. I wouldn't do it. Don't like
right,
me. I'm
right.
telling you, don't like me. I
Don't
really don't
like
like
me.
it. Yes.
Don't like me. I'm telling you, that's just
I'm you don't
damn.
want this to happen. This is going
Uh-huh.
to
You
this is
don't you
gonna
don't
hurt
want
you in
these
the end.
problems. You don't want these problems.
Right. And I tell him, I'm like, this is gonna hurt you in the end. Because I don't first of all, I don't want it to come back on
This is
me.
gonna hurt you in the end. That's just damn.
It
All right.
is. But
So
in my mind, I'm giving you more than enough opportunity to make your decision yourself with
okay.
the information I'm giving you.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You make your decision for yourself. If you are withholding information from me, I cannot make a good educated.
That's the problem. And that's the problem not just with having, other women on the side, but that's the problem with like having kids or just having secrets, right? You don't give the other person the opportunity to make an informed decision about what's best for them, right? They're going based off information that's not complete or could just be flat out
Completely
false.
erroneous, yes.
Right, right. So that's the problem. That is the biggest problem with keeping information back from people. Now, what should be the solution? And we got to do a little bit better than to just say keep it real, because everybody says that,
The thing is, I think we all need to start, and we all know what that's about to come out of my mouth. We all got to start with ourselves first, and that's the thing. Like, especially at this age we're in, it is one thing, we all know this, it is one thing to date in your early 20s. Dating in your late 30s.
It looks like it froze. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Came back.
Dating in your early 20s, a lot of times it's just, hey, let's just have fun.
Absolutely.
But in your 30s, what it comes down to is, now, marriage ain't for everybody. We're going to go ahead and preempt it with that. If you don't want to get married, you don't want to get married. That's on you. No judgment. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
However, when you go into a relationship, you have a goal in mind with that relationship.
In your 30s, yeah. You're dating with a purpose.
If we don't get married, if we decide that we just want to be civil partners and live together, that's on us.
Right.
But
right.
When we go into dating at this age, knowing stuff like that, we got to make sure, I read something, TD Jake's daughter wrote a book, and in the book, she said that her husband, no, it wasn't her husband. I forgot who told her this, but essentially be the person that you would date.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's more important as we get older because a lot more is at stake at this point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Most of the times we have more to give, but we also have more to lose.
A lot more to lose.
You're right. The stakes are a lot higher. And a lot of people are playing for keeps.
Right. And honestly, the one thing that can never be refunded is time.
That's right.
That is the one thing that cannot be refunded is your time.
Yeah.
And so it starts with yourself. You got to look at you. Like, what are my boundaries? Do I have boundaries?
Mm-hmm.
Do I know how to enforce my boundaries without being forceful?
Yeah.
Do I know how to speak to people? Do I know how to take heartache? Do I know how to handle the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so at the end of the day, in order for our relationships and honesty to work, we got to learn how to be honest with ourselves first.
Yes. I agree. I agree with all of that. Um, but what do we do when you have that partner and you're getting to that point where you guys are starting to formulate what your thing is going to be?
Uh-huh.
Okay. At what point should we have that conversation? Because nowadays, let's just keep it real. Some people start off fucking before they even get to before they even done,
They do.
had a second date. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I mean, there's Tinder, there's plenty of
Yeah.
fish, there's apps
Right.
that are
Absolutely.
set
Oh,
up
okay.
specifically for
Right.
hookups. So
Right.
that's just the reality
That is the
nowadays.
reality. And
Sometimes you put that's putting the cart before the
way
horse.
before the
That's
horse.
yeah, you put the coochie before the heart. So
When it comes, well, see, that's the thing.
sometimes our steps are out of order. I'll say.
Right. And
So
again, and like you said, it's like no shade or nothing. Like, do you?
right, exactly.
But
Because
like you
some of the
said,
best people I've met, that happened a lot sooner than the person that it worked out. It started off courting, and then we talked, and then we stayed on the phone, and then we went out on dates, and then it finally built up the traditional way. Sometimes that just ends, and you don't even talk to that person no more. But sometimes the one where steps happen out of order, we'll just say it like that to be clean. Sometimes those be the people that you have the deepest connection with and you relate to the most.
right.
So
It's really, I think it's very dependent on each person.
it is
And
absolutely.
it depends on comfort level plays a big role in it. Because I mean, we also live in a world right now where everybody swears to God they don't trust nobody, but they put all their business on social media.
Right.
But they don't
Right.
trust nobody. Oh, I
Right.
can't tell you that. I can't trust you with my
Uh
heart.
huh. Uh huh. And people, swear that people is talking, got your name in their mouth, but really, all you're doing is just using Facebook as a journal and just telling everything that's going on, so people just know.
Right.
Yes,
And then,
I think I think that people should be. I think you should have a specific conversation about what type of lover you are. Are you a polyamorous lover where you have the capacity to love and genuinely have feelings for multiple people at the same time? Are you just the type of person that, like me, I only have feelings for one person, but I can physically deal with several different people at the same time? Or are you one of those people that are traditional where you can only deal with one person and that's the person that you are intimate with and that's the person that you're dealing with, right? So there's those you have to, I think everybody has to have a conversation about what type of lover you are and what
yeah,
type of lover are you going to allow me to be.
I think those conversations, those need to come up when you decide that we're not just boning.
Okay.
Because I also don't believe in over informing people either.
Mm.
Like if we sit down and we're like, yo, we're just gonna be boning, like that's what we do, then I
Mm-hmm.
don't I don't have to tell you about my past relationships and stuff.
Sure, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
it's once you
Yep.
establish
Yep.
what it is you want this to be, that's when you start having those conversations as they need to come up. So first
Okay.
of all, if we decide, okay, I kind of feeling you, I kind of want to get with you exclusively, then we need to do, are you poly or are you mono?
Right.
And
Right.
if you're a monogamous person, but I'm a polyamorous person, can you handle me being poly?
Exactly. Is that going to
And
be
if
an
I'm a
issue?
poly person and you're traditionally monogamous, but you
Yep.
decide to do something poly, can I handle that?
Right. Right. Are we gonna
So, but
allow for flexibility, or
right.
what?
But if
What is this
that's
thing
not our
gonna be?
intent ever, we don't need
Mm.
to talk about that. If it
Mm-hmm.
comes up, great, beautiful, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's making sure you find the right flow, because one mistake I have made is putting the cart before the horse and having those conversations way before it was time to have those
Right.
conversations.
Right. So you
Which
don't
put
put
it
the whole
straight.
information. You put the information about the cart and the horse ahead of the cart and the horse,
Right. So
so
then
they
it's
know
kind of like,
everything.
yo, back
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Because if I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, look, this
Yeah.
I'm monogamous, I want to end up married, I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
do this, that. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, my moon is in Gemini and my house is in Sagittarius. All of that.
First of all,
Just
my moon is in Pisces. Let me stop.
see exactly. Yes, exactly. You're right.
But yeah, so
So
it's a very fine line, and
that's
you have
different
to
for
find
everybody.
yeah, you have to find it with that one person, because even
Right.
how we deal with different people in our lives is going to be different each time.
That's right. That
Like,
is
I don't
right.
handle all my dudes the same.
All your niggas, you don't handle all your niggas the same. All your babies.
They already know what's up. They know what's up. They know what's up. I got
I
a
know
man,
it.
a
I know
boyfriend, a
it.
hoe.
Woo! Woo! I know it. I know it.
I'm just talking,
Whew. Lord.
but the fact that I can say that out loud when I deal with men,
Right.
so they can kind of know
And I'm
what the
sure they
party is.
respect it. I'm sure they respect it. And
I
you
mean, if they don't, then they don't. But
that's right. Right. But you're always gonna get that one that just kind of says what they need to say in order to get past that.
those are
And
the only ones that get me.
they're right. And they end up getting hella feelings because they didn't messed around and fell in love with they got lost in the sauce. So it happens, but you're right. If you can cut down, or I guess you can minimize the potential of that happening by just
Right.
so okay. I would say we got two takeaways. The first
Okay.
takeaway, like you said, you have to do the work on your own. So you're gonna have to define who you are, what you are, where you're at, where you're trying to go. So all
Right.
of those things, you got to sit and do the work on you. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about being in my 30s is that I know myself so much better than I did in my 20s. My 20s was just a
Right.
whole bunch of confusion and
Right.
figuring it out. The only benefit to being in your 20s is that you have your youth and you have your energy. But as far as your life, everything is like a mess.
It's a big mess. Yes.
But now I'm 35. I know myself. I know what I am and I know what I'm not.
Right.
I know what I like and what I don't like. And I can clearly explain that to a woman over a casual dinner, and I can, be comfortable with if that's not what she's looking for, or if she heard something she didn't like, at least I can walk away from it. And I have done this several times because as a guy, you get way more misses than you get hits. So it's been several times where we just had to walk away from this and we just had to abort the mission because we finally just it didn't match up as far as who we are as people and where we were trying to go. So that's the first takeaway. Do the work, the shadow work, or the whatever you want to call it, the healing, the shadow work, the personal development to find out who you are and what you want and where you're going. Second takeaway is when you have that partner, when you guys have decided that you're going to be a thing, you need to have a conversation about what type of lovers you are and what type of lover they are. What
Mhm.
type of relationship, what type of loving relationship y'all are going to have. Some people decide to open relationships. Some people decide to just be swingers. So we're gonna do stuff, but we're gonna do it together. We're only doing it while we're together. Don't go out on your end and go get nothing. Don't do that. But if we find somebody and we both approve, whatever, we're gonna go with it. Some people be like that. While we're at the sex club, that's when we're gonna do stuff. But when we go home, we're Mr. and Mrs. and it's just you and me, whatever. Or where we're not gonna do no extras. Some people just don't want to invite that into their whole thing. So
Right.
whoever. So those are the two takeaways. Work on yourself. Do the work on yourself to define who you are and what you want, and then define it with your partner who you are, who y'all is, and what y'all are going to, how this is going to look. Not
Right.
everybody has the words for that, but I would encourage everybody to just spend time thinking about it because
Yes.
you can come up with those answers eventually. You know,
Yes.
not everybody has the words to just be like, this is the type of lover I am. This is what
No.
I want from a person, blah, blah, blah. Right. But when it comes to your life and
No.
what in you're in love and your relationship, you damn well better be able to say what it is that you like
Right.
and what
That
it is
thing.
that you don't like.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's your commitment that you're dealing with. So you don't want to get trapped in something that's not what you want.
Absolutely.
Whew.
Absolutely.
Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot to unpack. We have 38 minutes.
Right.
Um, I think we should.
We
I
can
think we
stop
should.
here.
I think we should stop here because
Stop here.
for one episode that was a lot. But I like that we had some tangible takeaways. Right.
Yeah.
We were able to come up with something. And that's something that I feel like this is going to be. This topic is not done with. It's going
Yeah.
to appear in more than one conversation in some form or another. So we
Right.
will come back to this for sure. Is there anything else that you would like to say? Would you like to give out your social media handles or anything that you want to let people know?
Not for right now. Right now, my
Okay.
website is down because I am rebranding.
Oh,
And
good. Okay.
since it's
Okay.
the LLC, I have to do it the legal way. So,
Oh, okay. You're doing it for real. And I need to do that. I need to do that with all the My Two Cents stuff. Like, I literally have across all my platforms, I probably got about 10,000 followers across
you need to
everything if you
LLC.
add it all up. But I need to find a way to capitalize on that because other people are making money, even if I'm making $1 off of it. But I'm not making nothing off of it. And I've been having that shit for years and people is rocking with me, but I just have not been able to capitalize on it. So
I got some folks I can get you in contact.
okay, I got some questions that I'm gonna need to.
You gotta remind me.
Okay, absolutely. But yeah, I got some questions for you that I'll run by you.
Yeah.
But people, thank you all for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all have a good night. Please join us again. We will be back. And peace out.
Bye.